thing is that it's a space which is very similar to what we do. They got in touch with me to be a part of the final call. A very intriguing story. I think so. The story is intriguing enough for you to say, yes, it's about a pilot who is not very mentally well. He's got a mental illness, you know, and that for me was like, wow, you know, we never think of that because we keep jumping in and out of aircrafts. And you think your pilot's going to be normal and he's going to take you from one place to another, but what if he isn't? What will happen then? So it's a real great situation, you know, and to play that character who is going to go through these gamut of emotions in the confines of just a cockpit, you know, was a challenge and a really good story. I think really good story, really good team, good production values, you know, it's going to be a big show, you know. So I was like, okay, fine, let's give it a shot and see what happens. But it's, for me, it's just like acting. I'm just acting. No, you either like my acting or you won't. If I'd got a really good romantic one, maybe it would have been romantic, but I didn't. And it's not that I chose it. It wasn't like I was consciously looking for it. Sometimes you say, okay, fine, you know, do I really want to get into this space? And then you say, well, what's the difference? There is no difference between acting. You're acting in a film or you're acting on a web series. The craft is the same. We watch some wonderful actors from world over, okay, doing it, okay, and doing wonderful jobs, you know. And in fact, sometimes they're better than films. The content that is being created out there. Also, you have a certain level of freedom as an actor or as an artist, if it's a director, writer, you know, to tell your story without any other pressures. I don't know if I should, because the beauty of this character of Captain Karan Sachdev is discovering him. You know, even I discovered him while I kept performing it, you know. Even though I knew what he was, sometimes I would just like be like, wow, you know, this is a good moment. And I think that's what the audience should experience him for. If I tell you what he is, then I might give away too much. Because every episode you see him, sometimes you root for him, sometimes you really hate him, you know, sometimes you fear him. You know, so there are lots of different emotions he evokes. I mean, in terms of physical training, all I wanted to do was get into a cockpit and get comfortable inside of it, as a pilot would. To know how do you fly a plane. So I did a lot of flight simulation classes, you know, till taking off, landing, talking to ATC, talking to the passengers on board, okay, talking to you know, various, changing the altitude, putting the whole route on the computer, putting on autopilot, okay, learning the different lingo, what the pilots use, and just being comfortable in the cockpit space was important. From a mental illness point of view, you kind of read books, you know, you kind of go and research about people who suffer from depression, people who are suicidal, people who need help or have tremendous amount of voids in their lives. It's an animal that's going to constantly need feeding, and we're going to constantly have to feed it because there are a lot of people consuming off it. And it's a great space for people to go there and tell stories, which most probably they would never have been able to tell if just the only way they could do it was just by making films. Hey guys, it's me Arjun and you're watching me with this guy, the PeepingMoon.com.